Grand rising to everyone. It's September 5th. Happy September. September is going to be an interesting month. All months have been interesting since 2025 started, but September looks as if it's going to be very interesting. First of all, it's packed with a lot of cosmic configurations, planetary configurations that are very indicative. We know for sure that they have significance historically, and so the astrologers and the persons who read the heavens have been able to predict certain things. But before we jump into that, I just want to take the time out to wish a very, very special person happy birthday, happy solar return, Tonya Bob. Everybody who on this channel, you know Tonya. Tonya has been facilitating all our meditations for the last 2, 3 years. She's my very dear friend who I met online, guys. We started meditating together online during the pandemic, and we have never stopped. So, Tonya, thank you for being you. Thank you for all your wise words, your stillness, your love, your light. We appreciate you. We love you. Have the most amazing day and have the most amazing month, amazing year, amazing life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being you. All right. So now let's get into September. So September is like March, like June, pivot point energetically. We have the autumn equinox or spring equinox on the southern hemisphere, autumn equinox on the northern hemisphere. And it's another configuration where there's an equidistance between the sun and the earth and in the solar system, right? Now, it's a energetic pivot point, and those that used the 13-month calendar, the ancients tapped into this energy because it usually signaled the beginning of spring or the beginning of harvest. Okay, now energetically, what it means for us during these modern times is that it's a time for us to look back at the year and see if some of the seeds planted during the spring equinox earlier on in the year have now begun to bear fruit, right? So actions taken, projects initiated, and so on, right? It's a good time for you to step back, look at what you've accomplished, and then get yourself ready for the slow months, the time of stillness, the winter stillness, right? Now, if you've been following this channel also, you know that since January, we've been using the 13-month calendar, the IGBO calendar. This period here, September, is considered the 7th month in the IGBO calendar, the IGBO 13-month calendar. So we will be doing our 7/7 portal on the I believe it's the 10th of September. Okay, so next week, Wednesday, we'll be doing that. So I want to encourage everybody to join. Now, why is this important? We are moving into a time now during September where we're going to have 2 eclipses in very quick succession. The first eclipse is going to be this Sunday, the 7th of September, and it's going to be a full moon, and they're calling it a blood moon. Take note, the blood moon. So it's a full blood moon lunar eclipse. We're having that on Sunday. Okay, now because it's a lunar eclipse and because it's also a full moon, energetically it is being recognized as the closing of chapters. Energetically, it's almost, some people would want to say it's a death and rebirth gateway, because the eclipse on Sunday, September 7th is going to be followed by another eclipse on the new moon, which is September 21, which is also or autumn equinox. Okay, so that's it's like an autumn equinox with extra energy, an extra dose of energy. Okay, and again, it signals death and rebirth. So this whole period between now and that eclipse, they call that an eclipse portal, and it's a death and rebirth gateway. So what it means is that it's an end of a karmic cycle, but it's also the beginning of a new karmic cycle. It's an opportunity essentially for us, because remember what August was all about: recalibrating your identity, recalibrating who you are, recalibrating your internal narrative. So this period is now about closing it out and getting ready for a new cycle. Remember, we are also in a 9 year, okay? By the Gregorian calendar, 2025 is 9, and it's also the year of the snake, a time of shedding. And so what we want to always bear in mind, that some of the endings that we're experiencing are meant to happen. Okay, do not try to hold on to anything that needs to fall away, whether it's relationships, whether it's jobs, whether it's, the place that you live, the car that you have, friends that you have. Let anything that wants to go, let it go. Do not be holding on to anything. In fact, it's a period of surrender. Energetically surrender. When you surrender, you allow energy to flow in and flow out. And some of the things that you really want will come to you automatically when you surrender. Okay? Do not be chasing things. This is not the time to chase or pursue things. This is the time to allow things to come to you, to let everything energetically settle. You need to be energetically very still, very quiet. No unnecessary commentary or opinions to be shared right now. It is best to be still, to be quiet. Why? Because everything energetically is very chaotic. So anything you do now is going to be magnified, amplified unnecessarily so. Okay? So that's just a little piece of advice. Now, the caption that I put on this video was the eclipses and the rapture. Now, a lot of people have been talking, and this is on social media. It's my job kind of to look at what's trending on social media and try to make sense of it, because some of it has validity. Some of it is just there to create a social media storm and distract you from what you truly should be doing. So it's important to be careful and to be discerning. And so sometimes when I discuss things that are trending on social media, it's just to offer a perspective that is balanced and will help you to make sense of the whole thing energetically and within your context personally, right? So there's something going around on the socials that the blood moon, which is September 7th, followed by the solar eclipse, which is associated with the equinox on September 21, are the blood moon and the dark sun that have been mentioned in the Bible associated with the rapture. And some people have even gone as far to quote Bible scriptures that speak of when the moon turns to blood and the sun becomes dark, then that period is preceded by the Feast of Trumpets around September 24, and that is when the rapture is going to take place. Here's my position. when the rapture takes place, not everybody is going to know or understand or even recognize when it's taking place, because it's not going to take place the way they've described it in the Bible, with the trumpets and the angels and the Christ coming down and this dramatic thing. Only some people are going to be able to perceive of the energetic displays that may be there in the heaven. I am sure that I am not going to be able to see anything, but guess what? The fact that I'm not seeing it doesn't mean it's not happening. So energetically, there will be something significant happening in this eclipse period. Okay? But not everyone will be able to discern it energetically. In fact, there are there are millions of people who won't even see the algorithms showing them those videos about this period of the eclipse, the double eclipse here in September, being associated with the rapture. There's many people who will not even see that. What is interesting though is that a lot of people are experiencing prophetic dreams. And I am not surprised, because remember, this whole period is called the awakening, and a lot of people are going through spiritual ascension, which means their spiritual gifts are getting stronger and stronger. So the people with prophetic spiritual gifts are having clearer dreams. And a lot of them are having dreams about the rapture, the second coming. A lot of them are having dreams about floods. A lot of them are having dreams about earthquakes. A lot of these people with prophetic dreams are having dreams about mass casualty events, and they are not wrong. However, dreams are an interesting thing. Dreams are indicative sometimes of past, of other dimensions, and of the future. So it is very difficult for us to say with certainty that this person had a dream and it is a dream of the future. Because we all know that everything that anybody ever dreams about has happened in the past. Okay? Floods have happened in the past. Earthquakes have happened in the past. Mass casualty events have happened in the past. So it's just important for us to recognize that dreams are able to take you into multiple dimensions and multiple times and spaces. So we need to just understand that nobody's wrong and nobody's right. There's some people who really have a high level of accuracy with respect to future events, upcoming events, and you know them. I don't have to say their name or give any validation to them. You know them. Plus, there is this thing where all of us get the information that we personally need at the time that we need them. So if some information is coming to you to cause you to take an action that will preserve you and your family's life, then that information is for you. Okay? So not every single piece of information that you come across on the socials are necessarily for you. This requires your discernment, your spiritual discernment. What do you take and run with? What do you take and put it in your pipe and smoke it with other things that you have seen or have read or know about or intuitively feel? Okay, so I want to just encourage everyone who's listening to this to look at what you see online and take it with a grain of salt when you need to, and take heed when you need to. Nobody can teach you how to do that, because nobody is you. Okay? Remember, we all live in different parts of the world. We all live in different parts of a country or a continent. And so different rules apply to different situations. It is entirely up to you to know what to do with the information at the time. The important thing is that you stay away from this whole concept of fear. No matter what information you get, proceed fearlessly, proceed boldly, knowing that based on the work you've done, you are protected, divinely protected. Okay? So yes, you're gonna see a lot of uptick in people talking about floods and earthquakes and dreams and so on. The truth is, the earth is going through what we would call in the Bible travail, right? If we're looking at the birth of new earth, we are actually in the part of the labor process called the quickening. And we can see the quickening very easily. We can see all the volcanoes that are erupting. We can see all the earthquakes that are happening as I speak. They had one 48 hours ago. It was a 8.8 again on the northern pole, right? So it's very clear to see that there is a quickening. Again, also the Schumann's resonance is also doing dramatic things, bursts of energy, all of it affecting us, our sleep patterns, our dreams, our personalities, our moods, right? And doing the necessary and requisite resets necessary for the planet and for all the inhabitants on the planet. That's us. Yeah. So everything is working towards our spiritual and energetic upgrade. Okay. So perhaps this rapture that they're talking about is going to be registered on the Schumann's resonance in terms of a pulse or a blackout or a whiteout. We will see. This also may register, that rapture may register as a huge cataclysmic event, right? It also may register as a regular normal day. You go outside, the sky is blue, maybe there might be a little rain, but nothing out of the ordinary. But one thing I will say to you is that from my observation over the years, every time there's this huge outcry about um, the rapture or the second coming, there is usually a very significant spiritual and energetic manifestation that some are able to witness, observe, or, some people have to calculate it. But there's always a correlation between something that happens around that period and this event that everybody is prophesying. Okay, so you're going to now that you've seen this video, you're gonna see a whole bunch of other videos on the socials talking about the rapture. Now, suppose there is going to be a rapture. What do you do? How do you want to show up for this event? My personal advice to everybody is the same advice that I give everybody all the time. You guys must be tired of me. But it's the only thing that I know for sure that will guarantee that your connection to divine source is secured, is anchored, and that you are energetically prepared to handle whatever situation comes your way. And that is meditate. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Now, I don't mean sitting down for one whole hour in silence, because a lot of you, A don't have the time, B, your minds are so busy that you cannot. However, just the intention when you wake up in the morning and just spend some time in conscious, curated silence is enough. It's a signal to your energy field, to your nervous system to stop and connect to divine source, to God, to infinite creator, whatever or whomever you address that entity as. So even if you spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes in meditation on the rising, that's enough. it sends that signal to your nervous system, okay, to your energy body, right? I keep saying over and over again, the energy body, which is your auric field, has several layers. The etheric layer is closest to the physical, to your skin, and then there's the mental layer, then there's the emotional layer, then there's the spiritual, then there's the celestial, then there's the ancestral, then there's causal layer. All of those layers, there's 7 layers they say, are connected to your 7 chakras. So when you meditate, those layers get clearer and stronger, and they're literally energetically cleared of debris. Okay, this is why we invite in the divine light, the heavenly light, to come in through our crown and go through and clear our chakras, and also to pour into our aura or energy field and clear it and energize it and strengthen it. Okay, so the purpose of meditation is not just to still the mind, but it's to clear and strengthen your chakras and clear and strengthen your energy field. Why is that important? Because if there are very, uh, you know, uh, you know, hmm, how do I describe it? If there are cataclysmic events happening near you, the more clear and stable and coherent you are, is the more clear, stable, and coherent your decision making will be. That will save you and your family. The decisions that you make in that moment will not be just based on logic, it will be based on your intuition and spiritual guidance from divine source. So you need to make that connection now when everything is nice and calm, so that in the middle of all the drama, you'll be able to tap in your inner self, your core will be still, stable, calm, and clear. And you will get the insights and the intuition and the spiritual downloads in the moment to be able to make the decisions that you need to make. Okay? So, meditation is very important. Spend the time now when everything is calm to cultivate the connection between yourself and divine source. Nobody can do it for you. You can utilize guided meditations because they're helpful and they help to train your mind to be still. But meditation is actually a personal journey, right? You can go and learn techniques, use YouTube to learn techniques, but you really have to do that work. The trick here is not to become overly dependent on any external source to help you to meditate. To connect, you don't need a middleman to connect to divine source. They taught you that. Religion teaches you that you need a middleman. But now we're realizing that religion, most of it was a mechanism for control, controlling your mind, controlling your behavior, controlling your perspective, controlling your outlook. You have access, direct access to divine source, spirit. Use it. Use your direct access. Do not become dependent on anybody else or anything or any religion to give you access. You all have access. We were born with access to divine source. We have access because it's inside as well. Okay? So meditate, meditate, meditate. Right now, when everything is still calm and you have the wherewithal to be able to peacefully tap in, it's going to serve you later. The second thing I want to recommend is detox, detox, detox. Why detox? When you're eating a lot of processed foods, I'm hoping that the dog's barking is not disturbing you. When you're eating a lot of processed foods, you get distortions in your body, buildup of toxins and chemicals, right? Now, when you have those buildups, you can't tap into divine source easily because you have too many chemicals and hormones and secretions surging in throughout your body and distorting your bodily functions and processes. And so this is why people detox. People who are on the spiritual journey are always detoxing, are always fasting. Right? When your stomach is full, you can't connect to divine source. Your stomach is full. All your blood vessels and all of the attention of the entire body is going to be focused in your stomach. When you fast, all of the attention and energy goes upwards, and you're able to pull down that divine source of energy. You're able to tap into divine source easier. Okay? If your blood is dirty, if you're filled with parasites, there is no way you can tap into divine source. You know, I am now convinced that what they call demons in the Bible are actually parasites, right? When they talk about the pigs or the swine, it's filled with parasites. We now know that scientifically it is filled with parasites at all their different um, life cycle stages. You know, the eggs, the encapsulated versions of it, and then the full adult versions of the parasites fill the swine, they call them, right? A lot of people, science is now showing that a lot of the diseases, even mental conditions and personality traits, are directly related to parasites in the body. They're saying diabetes is related to a particular fluke, a liver fluke. Yeah, they're saying that most of the cancers are related to um, different parasites in different parts of the body. And when we talk about parasites, we're not just talking about the worms, you know, the flatworms, the roundworms, the tapeworms. We're also talking about molds and spores and yeast. Yeah. So we are learning so much more. In fact, some of the other things that are related to, you know, uh, bipolar disease and schizophrenia, again, parasites in the brain, parasites in different parts of the body. So when you detox, you kill parasites and you clean up the organs and you clean up your blood. You are so much more capable of tapping in energetically. For all of those people who are not detoxed and they have their spiritual gifts in spite of the garbage they're eating, kudos to you. But can you imagine how much more powerful you would be and how much more benefit you would be able to share with humanity if you were not toxic in your physical body? You would be so powerful. In fact, I strongly believe that a lot of the people that have their natural spiritual gifts, right, whether they're toxic or not, the reason why they're not able to be more impactful on this earth is because they don't even have the clarity to connect their spiritual gifts with their soul mission and be able to carry out those soul missions with clarity, because you don't have the clarity because your body is filled with the toxins from food, the toxins from the waste of the parasites that are in your body. You cannot think clearly. You cannot see clearly, because remember, a lot of your ability to function in your soul mission is your ability to see where the gaps are and see how you can fit in and help a situation or facilitate a situation. So it's all connected. Now, I really think that this whole month of September, everybody should be double meditating and you should be detoxing, right? I don't have to tell you what to do. There are not hundreds, thousands, I mean hundreds of thousands of individuals on social media constantly giving you the list of herbs to clear your liver, clear your pancreas, clear your kidneys, clear your lungs, clear your your gut, which is your stomach, your large and small intestines, right? Things to clear and cleanse your blood, things to cleanse and clear your reproductive organs, right? I don't need to give you any, right? But for the benefit of those people who are not wanting to search, I'm just gonna roll off a few of them. Yellow dock and burdock cleanse the blood, milk thistle, buplerium, all of these are liver cleansing herbs. Um, we have this thing in Jamaica, um, dandelion coffee that you can use to clean and cleanse your kidneys. Just you can get it on Amazon. Just type in roasted dandelion coffee. Some people utilize dandelion root. Some people use the leaves and the stems of the dandelion plant. It's a very powerful plant. For those of you that are in the tropics, tamarind and tamarind juice will cleanse your liver. Go get yourself some tamarind, right? Um, there's also the traditional Chinese medicine herbs. You can go online and type in traditional Chinese medicine herbs for cleansing the liver, traditional Chinese medicine herbs for cleansing the kidneys, traditional Chinese. You can do all of that on your smartphones nowadays. You have no excuse. However, if you don't have the time and you are a little lazy, I created a blend called the Jamaica Armor Blend and the Jamaica Defense Blend. I created it during the pandemic because a group of us, sat down together and we realized that the main thing that made people vulnerable to COVID was a high parasite load and a low um, autoimmune system. Immune system, right? So we figured, okay, let's put some herbs together synergistically that will take care of the central nervous system, soothe and calm the central nervous system, boost the immune system, and kill parasites while it's killing the blood and cleaning the liver and cleaning the kidneys. Okay, so if you go on my website, you will find that blend. I just sent off a batch from Jamaica, so it's in the US, so you can actually order that, and it has. I don't even have a sachet, but I have the pack, so I have a 4 ounce pack. Um, but for September, I make sure I create a 1 ounce pack because the 4 ounce costs 85. The 1 ounce costs 45. So for 40, I'm gonna make a little discount so that everybody can afford it. And guys, take those bitter herbs at least for 5 days to get rid of the parasites, and then you drink them, um, you know, once a week or twice a week. Okay, I'll just list some of the herbs that are here. Bitterwood, guys. The tea, there's nothing dainty or sweet or lovely about this tea because it's not here to pet and powder you. It's here to kill the parasites. It's here to clean up your blood, right? So I know it's very fashionable to get all these artisan teas with lovely flowers in them and they look so pretty. But guys, it's not about the pretty. You know, the problem is we're so accustomed to satisfying our five senses with our taste and our smell and how we feel about consuming a beautiful tea. Society has trained us to do that so that they can feed us with the poison. Step away from that, make the sacrifice, drink up some bitter tea to get that liver up and running. The liver is the workhorse of your body. So if your liver isn't clean, then your blood will not be clean, your digestion will not be robust, and your endocrine system will not be as robust as it needs to be. So the main thing to consume as you're detoxing are bitter herbs. And I don't need to go down a list of bitter herbs they have. In Jamaica, we have rice bitters, we have sulfur bitters, And online, you can get all sorts of bitters. Okay. If you don't trust online, as I said, I have my blend here. It has in all Jamaican ingredients, all wild harvested. I harvest some, but sometimes I have to get some of the experts to go and get the other herbs that I cannot harvest because they're so deep in the bush. But basically, in this blend, I have bitterwood, blue vervain, sarsaparilla for the iron, lemongrass, soursop leaf, papaya leaf, almond leaf. It has in mullein, the TCM herbs. I put some of that as well. Mullein, it has in star anise, and it has in cat's claw. And there are a couple of other herbs. I can't tell you, I can't give you my whole secret, but I can give you that list of herbs that you can go, if you want to, purchase those herbs from reputable sources and combine your blend. I combine the dried herbs and grind them up so there it makes a loose tea blend. You have to strain it. It's very annoying. I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to get it, um, at in a way that it doesn't sometimes float debris. But guys, do what you have to do. Get those little tea bags, and you can put them in, and then put hot water and drink that morning and night. Okay, so you don't have to use my tea blend. You can do your research, buy the herbs, combine them together, and drink them. Okay, make sure that when you drinking your herbs, you know the indications. Okay, so some people who have high blood pressure, for example, they can't take burdock root. So right away you can't drink this tea because it has in burdock. Okay, do your research. If you need to, you can WhatsApp me to just clarify. Okay, but I highly recommend that you detox, you detox, you detox. If you don't want to do the herbs, you can take tinctures of different herbs in your water. So you buy the tincture of blue vervain, the tincture of black walnut and wormwood, for example. Black walnut and wormwood, they say, is like the one-stop herbal combination that will both kill parasites and even eliminate the environment for cancer's continued growth. So get yourself some black walnut and wormwood tincture and start consuming it in your water every day. Okay. Another thing, if you can't afford copper supplements, get your copper water bottle, put your water in it, and drink your water from it. A lot of the water that we're drinking is dead water by design. Okay, doesn't have any minerals. It's leaching your minerals. When you drink water from a copper container, it re-energizes and puts a little bit of life and charge on the water. Another thing you can do if you don't have a copper water bottle, you can get some crystals, not selenite, not black tourmaline, because those will dissolve. But most of the other crystals, rose quartz, amethyst, um, citrine, fluorite, you can just tiny little crystal in your water container, and it will also charge back your water from being dead. They have these devices that swirl your water and make the water structured water, but drinking water from a copper container structures the water. Adding crystals to your water also structures the water. And best of all is to drink water or consume water directly from your fruit, like your watermelon and your pineapple and all of those other juicy vegetables and fruits. I highly recommend consuming a lot of cucumbers, a lot of watermelon, a lot of cilantro in terms of removing heavy metals. Remember, guys, there are layers to this. Some people took the vaccine, and so they have both heavy metals and they have a proliferation of the spike protein. So, what my herbal blend was really the spike protein removing blend right? But you can make your own spike protein removing blend. Star anise is one of those herbs that reduces spike protein. So you can actually get yourself some star anise. It's a spice that you can get in an Indian or West Indian spice store. It looks like some little stars. It's dried and it smells heavenly. It's kind of like in the same category of like cinnamon and clove and pimento, right? Um, you can also, for those people who are in the Caribbean or Caribbean diaspora who know about sorrel or what they call hibiscus, get your sorrel, boil it with cinnamon leaf or cinnamon stick and cloves and nutmeg and cinnamon and star anise and put lemon in it. Those things boost your immune system so that when flu season comes, you don't catch it. You travel, you don't pick up any bugs because your immune system is so robust. Okay? For those people who believe in supplements, go ahead, take your vitamin C's and your zinc and your copper and your chromium and your selenium and your magnesium. Do your research and supplement your body so that your bones are strong and your body has the correct chemical pH. You always want to be a little bit more on the alkaline side. When your blood is acidic and when you are acidic, your body will tend to want to pull calcium from your bones, and then you will find yourself having sprains and fractures unnecessarily. So, guys, I urge everyone to start to learn about your physical body because your physical body and your energy body or the conduit for connection with divine source, there's a correlation between a healthy body and a healthy connection to divine source. Okay, so instead of panicking about a potential rapture, you know, or coming or all these disasters, prepare yourself physically to be able to navigate if there are times of great distress. Okay. Also, I hear people talking about the 3 days of darkness, right? Whatever comes, be still. Be still. There's no need to panic. Start to train yourself from now to do without creature comforts because there may be a time when you not have the creature comforts and you shouldn't let that rattle you because at all times you have your breath and you can close your eyes and be still and know that if the power grid goes down, you still have your breath and you can be still and know. If there is a cataclysmic event going on around you, you have your breath. You can close your eyes and be still and know. And then when you open your eyes, you'll know exactly what to do. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I stay where I am? You will know, but it requires you to cultivate that divine connection now when everything is still calm and stable and your home is comfortable and you are comfortable. You cultivating it in preparation for a time when things may not be as comfortable, but you would have cultivated that very calm space with it. Okay? So I urge everyone to just be still, observe, do not absorb, and all will be well.